Horry County is proud of the Grand Strand, and it should be. It's got 60 miles of the world's greatest beaches, but the rest is history, and that's Conway. We've got its mayor on this morning's Carolina People. Meet him coming up next. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're in the E. Craig Wall Senior College of Business Administration on the campus of Coastal Carolina University in the city of Conway. We're visiting with its mayor, the Honorable Greg Martin, the city of Conway's mayor, Of course, all week with Dr. David A. DeCenso yesterday and the day before, we're focusing on the presidency, but the mayor of the city, and we are in the city.
That's right. Coastal Carolina University annexed into the city about 10 years ago, and we're very proud to claim that Coastal is part of our community.
Absolutely, and what a beautiful campus. And it was even more exciting earlier this morning when you shared with us that you've actually taught classes here, business law classes, I believe, here in the E. Craig Wall Senior.
I did. Several years ago, Coastal asked me to teach, and I had the opportunity to teach a class of 90 students, and
90.
It was quite an experience, but I enjoyed it.
Did you have to grade exams, Greg?
You do, and I can tell you it's a big difference between 20 students and 90. And I think 4 of them were foreign students, so it was very challenging but rewarding.
I bet it was. I bet it was. Real quick about yourself, and do you mind if we call you Greg rather than Mayor Martin or the Honorable?
Greg is fine.
Okay, great, particularly since it's early on a Friday morning. You're originally from the area?
I was born in Conway, and my family has lived here for several generations. And, of course, attended school in the Conway area, and then went away to Clemson University and then University of South Carolina School of Law before returning home.
Had you always thought you wanted to be an attorney?
Since I was pretty young, I knew that law was what I wanted to pursue.
Really?
And
what was it about the law that made you think that?
I think the idea of being able to help people with their problems appealed to me, and it just was always a goal and a dream, and thankfully I was able to pursue that and reach that goal.
What is there a type of law you specialize in, Greg?
Yes, I focus on real estate closings and also probate work and some business law.
A great way to help people, surely, on the probate side. And in closings, oftentimes you hear realtors talk about the impact of a closing and seeing someone begin a new life in a new home and the impact that makes on their lives. They couldn't do it without an attorney.
That's true, and it's exciting to be a part of someone purchasing a new home or moving to the area, and I enjoy working with people.
Right. When did you first get on Conway's City Council?
That was back in 1991.
Wow.
I think I was in my early 30s and ran for city council as a young attorney here in Conway, and was fortunate enough to be elected and served 4 years on city council before running for mayor.
Oh boy, just 4 years before running for mayor. That's a big jump. And, clearly the excitement of being the mayor of a community, albeit you're in with them, you're working in tandem. It's a great symbiotic relationship.
It is. We have the council form of government. We have 6 members of council and the mayor, and we work very well together, and we've been able to achieve a good many of our objectives over the last decade or so, and it's been an exciting period for Conway.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Think about that. Was it anything there in your early 30s as an attorney that prompted you to want to run for city council? Did you had any family who'd been in the community service or a public servant in the past, something that may have spurred that?
Some of my ancestors were in public service. I had one ancestor who was a state senator and one who served in the House of Representatives in North Carolina.
Right.
And then another ancestor was a judge, a local judge. So yes, I think probably somewhere back in my roots that yearning to be a part of government was there.
Right. Oftentimes we've had legislators on or city or town council members, and they'll talk about some event that made them run. Even Chairman Gillen, when we hear her talk about XXX stores or strip clubs, that really prompted her to want to get out there and run some issue. Was there any issue going on in the community at that time that really spurred you to get it interested?
There really was. I have always had an interest in preserving and protecting Conway's history and heritage. And in the mid-'80s, I saw, as did a number of other people, that Conway was facing a period of big growth, tremendous growth, and we've certainly had that growth.
Yeah.
And the thought was we need to focus on preserving and protecting what is good about our town, the small town atmosphere, our riverfront, our downtown area, our beautiful neighborhoods, our natural beauty. So that was really the catalyst for me to get involved.
That's tremendous. Well, it wasn't a couple of months ago I was in town visiting our director on a Saturday and took the time to walk around town, and it is a magnificent community. The historic downtown Conway, of course, again, we're here in the city of Conway now with this amazing, sprawling 307-plus acre campus here of Coastal Carolina University, but to be in the historic downtown Conway and to walk around both up and down Main Street and a bunch of side areas over in the big judicial administrative complex there for Horry County government. It's amazing.
Great many changes over the last 15 years. In fact, the size of Conway has actually tripled. Not the population, but the geographic size has tripled in those 15 or so years.
Wow.
But what we've tried to do is keep the older or center of town intact and preserve the buildings and the nice qualities about our community while allowing the outskirts to grow and expand. And I think we've been fairly successful with that.
Absolutely. We want to talk about Tree City USA and Main Street USA and some other projects that you and many council members have gotten active in. But real quick, if a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family off to school, is there a good phone number or a website to learn more about the City of Conway and its activities? I see cityofconway.com, which I visited early this morning to get some info, even some past city council meetings. The minutes are on there, some great information, a lot of frequently asked questions on there, and links to other sites. But even a good phone number maybe for someone to call to learn more about city government.
Sure. The city government or city hall number is 248-1760. And certainly, as you mentioned, the website is full of information, and we do have a number of inquiries by phone still.
Oh, yeah.
Our city clerk is available at any time if someone would like to ask for information. And of course, our city administrator, Bill Graham, is accessible to anyone who might have concerns about city government.
That's tremendous. Well, of course, you've also got a great Conway Area Chamber of Commerce. If viewers wanted to call the Chamber of Commerce to get information about some of the activities in the community, but if they had any issues or questions they may have, just to call City Hall there, the 248-1760. Would they probably want to ask for the clerk there or
I
anyone
would
in
say
particular?
city clerk,
Right.
if it's just a question, or the administrator.
That's wonderful.
And you're right, our Chamber of Commerce does a great job in
yeah.
promoting Conway's business community. And we also have a visitor center, which is available if someone would like to come over and take a tour of the town. We have a visitor coordinator who will arrange those tours, and that number is 248-1700.
Oh, great. 248-1700. Glad you said that. And speaking of tours, you know, we so oftentimes think, if I hadn't been in town on a Saturday and possibly taken that walking tour myself, are there things you mentioned of a tour guide who would actually give folks a tour around town or through the city of Conway? What are some things that you normally encourage folks if they're visiting for the first time or coming over from Conway? I used to hear Jim and Carol Ruddock say, just cross that bridge. You will experience something you've just never experienced or haven't experienced since growing up wherever you may have grown up. Hearing them promoted and whoever the new owners are of the Cypress Inn, I'm sure they're doing the same thing, just encouraging folks to cross the bridge.
Well, we've certainly worked very hard in the last decade or so to promote Conway as a day destination for the tourists who are visiting Myrtle Beach. And we've also become a popular place for retirees who live in the area to come over and spend half a day.
Oh, yeah.
And our economy, our downtown economy, is quite dependent now on that tourism market, not just the out-of-state or out-of-city visitor, but the local day visitor. So you're right, you come over that old 1937 bridge into downtown Conway and you enter a very unique place. And any visit to Conway would have to include our riverfront, which we've been working on for about 15 years now, and we're completing phase 3 of that. Certainly the County Museum, which is located in downtown Conway.
Yes.
Our City Hall, which is a Robert Mills building. The downtown is filled with stores that I think are quite appealing, and restaurants. And of course, just to drive around town in the older sections of town, you'll see some of the beautiful homes and the live oaks, which our city is noted for.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Last Friday, we had Reverend Leslie McIver with us. We were filming at HCC down in Merle's Inland. Of course, he was talking about Conway being the original city of character for the area. I think it has since become the communities of character. About a month ago, we were with Larry Biddle over in Carolina Forest, and he was highlighting a new look, some new signs and images reflecting the city of Conway and Main Street, USA, some other great things going on with some beautiful images reflective of historic downtown Conway. And it's been exciting to see some folks really focused on the city and a true love of the city. As you think about the community of character, that's something that share with viewers a little bit about Conway's original role there as the city of character for the county.
Well, certainly the two men that you mentioned, Mr. McIver and Larry Biddle, have had a great role in that. The city has been a supporter, a financial supporter, as well as we passed a resolution when it was first organized recognizing it. And what they focus on is a different character trait each month that will encourage not just the people who work for the city government or other entities, but our entire community. And they'll pick one particular character trait, and that is promoted during that month. And it's encouraging people to develop good quality character traits, which will hopefully make the community stronger and make everyone get along well.
That's wonderful. And there's great information there on the cityofconway.com website, links to that. Around the 4th, you've had a couple of other big events in the Conway area recently. The Rivertown, the Bluegrass, Bluegrass on the Waccamaw, I believe. There's so many great events going on in Conway. Round the 4th is coming up. There's another one that occurred recently. It seems like 2 in the last month, and then one coming up at the end of June.
We had a few weeks ago the Rivertown Jazz and Arts Festival.
Yes.
And then a couple of weeks ago the Bluegrass Festival, Bluegrass on the Waccamaw.
Right.
Those are actually, we've come up with what we call the Summer Saturday Series.
Yes.
And so about every other Saturday from May through September, there's some event going on.